Ciao, I'm Juliet and I love the sport of kings. If you want to know what's up, check out UK Past the Wire TV.
Knowledge. It's not free. You got to pay attention. They say cream always rises to the top. It does. There can only be one best, and we are it. Connected. Every angle. Not one, but 5 steps ahead. The Belmont with us, you'll feel like you stole the money. Nobody plays like us. Kentucky Derby, late pick 5, 3 singles. The first 2 win, start us off running. Last one throws a shoe, doesn't fire. That's what I call unfinished business, and we don't leave unfinished business. So we're back. Oh yeah.
You're watching Past the Wire TV.
And here's Taba in the final stages. The Santa Anita Derby goes to Taba.
We are here with another Thorograph show on Past the Wire TV. So we will see if we can decipher the Blame Stakes, which is kind of a preview for the Stephen Foster, which is supposed to come up reportedly extremely tough, extremely competitive this year. But this particular race, I gotta say, is no joke and is extremely interesting. And hopefully we can decipher it and come up with the right horse. Last Thorograph show we did, I wasn't thrilled with the outcome or my reading of the Thorograph Numbers and Patterns. It happens. We're still 95%. So let's not lose too much sleep over that. The Belmont Stakes, we got boots on the ground. We're ready. Our seminar is next Thursday. It's up on pastthewire.com. I'll put a link to all the information here. If you want to join, ride with us. You'll never starve. We're going to take apart that late pick 5, try and nail it. Unfinished business from that Kentucky Derby pick 5, where 2 out of our 3 singles won, and the last had a very, very legitimate excuse, as most of you know. So we're going to try and seal the deal this time and get the job done. So hang with me for a minute. We'll be right back, and we'll get right into the Thorograph Numbers and Patterns on the Blame Stakes.
Think horse racing is too complicated? Think again.
And they're off.
Every pro was a newbie once. Meet DRF Newbie, the mobile tool loaded with daily racing form data and the power of DRF AI.
What a shocker.
Get the insights you need fast so you can play smarter and feel more confident. DRF Newbie, horse racing made simple. Try it free today. Visit newbie.com.
Okay. We got that out of the way. We're ready to rock and roll. And the first horse we're going to talk about is Rattle and Roll. Well-traveled horse, as many of you will know. He's been fast his whole career, except for this year, and this is the year that we're talking about. So that becomes a problem. His 2 races this year are 6.5. That's not nearly good enough to get the job done. Now, last year he closed out at Oakland Park with a 1.5 negative. Before that, he was 3 3/4. He was a 0. He had a 0 earlier in the year. A couple of zeros at 4, 0 at 5. So he's always been fast. He's just not fast right now. Do we see anything, third start of the year saying he's going to get back to some of those fast races, which off the bat he would have to do in order to win or contend here? I don't see anything. If you do, let us know in the comments. Let us know what we're missing. Let us know what you think you see about Rattle and Roll that suggests he might go back to some of those really fast races. Maybe he likes Churchill Downs is one angle we can consider. Is that going to be enough? I'm not sold that it will be. But if you are, I'd love to hear about it. So let us know. And if you're in agreement with he's too slow, you could let us know that too. And I should say he's too slow right now. That would probably be more fair, because let's not discredit anything that Rattle and Roll has done in the past. Hall of Fame. 1 start at 2, 12.5, not that good. At 3 was okay. 5, 9 3/4, 13, long layoff, and a 5 to close out that 3-year-old year. At 4 years old, he got a lot faster. 0 3/4 negative, 1.5, 0.5 negative, 1, 0.5 negative again, and then a 3 1/4 at Belmont in July. Comes back this year at 5 and kind of picks it up. Not as fast as he's been, but runs a 2.5 off the layoff that first start. I think that's pretty respectable. And I got no knock on it. Looks like he should go forward, second off the layoff. He's got plenty of experience, or at least some experience in fast races at Churchill Downs. Of the first 2, I say he gets a big vote between him and I apologize. I get a big vote over the horse on the rail, Rattle and Roll. But let's continue. Hit show. Major player hit show. He really is. He's accomplished quite a bit. Never really been thought of as a first stringer. And if a horse like this, that has his kind of resume and his kind of earnings, and is a Dubai World Cup winner, is not considered a first stringer, that says a lot about Brad Cox's bond. Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he is a first stringer. I don't know. But he doesn't seem to get that kind of recognition or that kind of hype. But he can certainly put in a heck of a race when he's in the mood to. Lot of fast races on his resume. 3 years old, he was fast. 4 years old, he was fast. Let's talk about 5 and 6. 0 3/4, 2.5, 0 3/4 when he won the Dubai World Cup. 4 1/4, 0 1/4, 3, 1 negative, 0. Comes back this year, 6 years old, 1.5, 3 1/4 in Dubai. Now back from Dubai off a little bit of a layoff. And, last year, here's going to be the read for me. Last year when he won the Dubai World Cup, he had a little bit more time off than he has now. And he runs a 0 3/4 in Dubai, comes back, runs a 4 1/4. This year, he runs a year older, a 3 1/4, less time, comes back, runs what? I say another regression. I say, he's shown us he needs time from that trip to the desert. I'm not going to overthink that. I'm going to say that kind of repeats and kind of is a tell. So, if he regresses off a 3 1/4, he's not going to win here. That's for sure. So, of the first 3 that we looked at, Rattle and Roll, Hall of Fame, and Hit Show, I got to say Hall of Fame gets the edge on the Thorograph Numbers and Patterns, but we ain't done yet. Capital Idea. The quick look, he's a cut below, but not more than a cut below, if that makes sense. Nothing at 2, at 3, he really wasn't that fast, but at 4, 3 1/4, 2, 3 1/2, 2. A little bit of a Z pattern, but fast and not alarming. But his pattern at 5 is really nice. We got a 3 1/4. I'm sorry, a 3 1/2, a 3 1/4, a 2. I'll say it again. 3 1/2, 3 1/4, 2. What is that? That's that sure but steady progression that I've said on so many of these shows I love. Slow, sure, steady progression. Not the big jumps that can lead to the bounce, but that slow, steady progression that tells us a horse might be coming to a peak or a new top or a monster giant race. And Capital Idea for Belmont does fit that kind of profile. So of the first, what are we up to now? 4 that we've done. Capital Idea, Hit Show, Hall of Fame, and Rattle and Roll. Hall of Fame, very, very live. Capital Idea, very, very live. Still a narrow edge to Hall of Fame over Capital Idea based on what I've seen already, but only narrow because that pattern on Capital Idea, even though he's got more to prove and further to go to get to that winning kind of a number, he certainly has the pattern and the momentum to do that. So, who they? Who that? Who this? Thomas Drury has who they in there. 2, 3, 4, and now 5-year-old races. Nothing much at 2. At 3, okay. But let's get more relevant with 4 years old, 9 3/4, big jump off a layoff, 2 3/4, 3 1/2, 2. Comes back, picks up where he left off. Another one. He runs a 3 at Churchill Downs, comes back quick. I like it. I've got no knock on him. I don't like it as much as Hall of Fame, and I don't like it as much as Capital Idea. But this is a horse that may fly under the radar, that on the Thorograph Numbers and Patterns can certainly make some noise. So we've got 5. We've got 1 that we lean to. We've got 1 that's a sliver or maybe a little more than a sliver behind him. And now we got another one that should be a decent price that can definitely make some noise in Houday. But I would look more for him, go phone off that 3, maybe a 2, maybe a 1. Not quite where I want to be for the win, but certainly a horse that can get into the numbers. Original Sin. Original Sin, lightly raced for Brendan Walsh, who's been really, really doing well. But we've got 2 starts at 2, 14, 13, at 3, 6 1/2, regresses to an 8. At 4, what do we got? We got 4 1/4, 6 3/4, 3. Looks like it could be a little bit of the development of that Z pattern coming to the down race. Because if we go to his 3-year-old year, and it was late in his 3-year-old year, it's not like it was early. So we got 6 1/2, 8, 4 1/4, 6 3/4, 3. There's that Z. Good, bad, good, bad, good, bad, up, down, up, down, up, down. Looks like that pattern is developing. Looks like he's going to down race. So of the ones we looked at, he gets the thumbs down from me based on the numbers and patterns. And that leaves us with the 3 that we have discussed: Hall of Fame, Capital Idea, and Who Dey. Liberal arts. What do we got here? We got a horse that had quite a few starts at 2 and got consistently better. 20 3/4, 13, 11 1/4, 9 1/4, 6 1/2, 4 3/4, 6 1/2, 10, layoff, 4 1/2, 0 3/4 negative at 3. So this is a horse that jumps around. He really makes some big moves. At 4, again, 4, 4, that steady kind of thing that we like. 0 3/4 negative, big jump. Now lays off. That was in April of his 4-year-old year. Now he's off almost a year. Comes back, runs a 4 1/2 at Oaklawn Park. Comes back a month later, and now he's going to run at Churchill Downs at 5. He's really the first one that I could say can go either way. Comes back, runs that 4. I think he's going to go forward. And he's shown he can go forward enough to get the job done. I just am not sure he's going to go as forward at 5 as he did at 4. So if he went from 4 to 0 3/4 negative last year, now maybe 4 1/2 to maybe a 2, maybe a 1, puts him on the fringe, but doesn't break that barrier for me to get included with those top 3. And I'm going to say, I'm going to remain cognizant when it comes time to make these, final wagering decisions. I'm going to remain cognizant of that 0 3/4 negative number race at Churchill Downs. That race was at Churchill Downs. That's got to stay in the mind. But I still give a little bit of an edge to the other 3. So he winds up number 4 on the list for me, with, I think, only 1 horse left to go. Yes, Vibe. Todd Pletcher, Vibe. Lightly raced, only, 4 starts in his whole career. Nothing at 2, at 3, 13 1/2, 7. At 4, 4 1/2, 1 1/2. This is another pattern that we've talked about a lot. And this is, one of those horses that just has gone forward a couple of points every start of his career. Nothing to indicate bounce. Everything to indicate he just hasn't hit his bottom yet. And there's more there. Until we see otherwise, that's as logical a conclusion to come to as any, really. If you've been reading these numbers and patterns a long time, that is, the sharp read. That's the sharp read, no question. Probably going to be an underlay. Probably going to take, the bulk of the money, and definitely belongs in the mix. I mean, if he goes forward, even a sliver, 1, 2 points off that 1 1/2, he's at a 0, 0 negative, 1 negative even, and that puts him right square in the mix here. So Vibe is right up there with, I would say, Hall of Fame. To me, those are the top 2 in the race, with Capital Idea inching up behind them, and Who Dey as a horse at a price that can maybe make some noise, probably not win, but maybe make some noise and get into the exacta triple superfecta at a big enough number to make it count. So that's the Thorograph Numbers and Patterns for the Belmont Stakes. You can get your copy of the sheets at thorograph.com. You can follow the links on passthewire.com right there. You can definitely get all the information to our seminar for the Belmont Stakes, Unfinished Business. Yes, that's how I'm taking it, and that's what it is. And we're going to finish it. We're going to try to finish it. We're going to go down hard. We're going to swing hard, and we're going to try and make it count. All the information will be in the write-up to the video. All the information will be on PassTheWire.com. If you join, I expect you to be leaving the racetrack, if you're up at Saratoga, looking like this. This is how we want to leave Saratoga.
Here comes journalism, here comes sovereignty, and they square off, head into the final Sovereignty wins the Derby!
You're watching Past the Wire TV. Hit that like button and subscribe to Past the Wire TV. Nobody does it better.
If you're not watching Past the Wire TV, you gotta be crazy.